Thomas Wesley Pentz, better known by his stage name Diplo, is an American DJ, music producer, rapper, and songwriter based in Los Angeles, California. He founded and manages record company M.I.A. Decent, as well as co-founding the non-profit organization Heaps Decent. Among other jobs, he has worked as a schoolteacher in Philadelphia. He is also the co-creator and lead member of the electronic dancehall music project, Major Lazer. His 2013 EP Revolution debuted at number 68 on the Billboard 200. During his rise to fame, Diplo worked with British musician M.I.A., an artist who is credited with helping expose him in his early career. Later, he and fellow M.I.A. producer Switch created a Jamaican dancehall project titled Major Lazer. Since then, Diplo has worked on production and mixtape projects with many other notable pop artists, such as Britney Spears, Beyoncé Copyright, No Doubt, Justin Bieber, Usher, Snoop Lion, and G-Dragon. His alias, short for Diplodocus, derives from his childhood fascination with dinosaurs. Career: DJ and hooked on holotronics, born in Tupelo, Mississippi and raised in various regions across southern United States, Diplo developed an interest in much of the local culture. He began attending the University of Central Florida in 1997, and then moved to Philadelphia to continue his studies at Temple University, where he first garnered attention as a DJ. After frequently running into fellow DJ Low Budget, the two began throwing parties under the Hooked on Holotronics moniker in 2003 as a way of maintaining control of what they were able to play during DJ gigs in Philadelphia. The success of these parties allowed the two to release mixtapes, both separate and together, gathering acclaim across the country. One such mixtape, Never Scared, was named one of the New York Times Top 10 albums of 2003, and the Holotronics name became synonymous with parties featuring guests like Bun B, Spank Rock, M.I.A., among others. Holotronics' sound has been described as disparate genres to be smashed together for maximum attention-grabbing impact and aesthetic, which takes from the organic, cohesive, whole aesthetic of acts such as Bun B, Lil Jon, Drama, M.I.A., J-Paragraph RK, Busta Rhymes, and others. Diplo accentuated the club aesthetic of his Holotronics music for a more reflective sound on his solo debut, Florida, which was released on the Ninja Tune imprint, Big Dada Records. The album Florida was pressed twice, first with a CD and the second with a CD and DVD. The DVD was created by System D128, another artist who has collaborated with Diplo on some audio and video projects. Before Florida unregistered trademark S-DVD accompaniment, another DVD surfaced called Diplo, Banned in Libya, which was released by Money Studies, the first label to release a solo project by Diplo under his original DJ name Diplodocus. It was a 45 RPM's record called Thingamajigger, for which there is also a music video System D128 directed. Similar to the Florida DVD, Banned in Libya is an experimental audio and video mix of some of Diplo's original music blended with a number of other unidentified sources. His particular affinity for one genre of music called Baile Funk would spawn a series of mixtapes, which served to bring the Brazilian dance music of the ghettos to the United States. It was not long before his Hooked on Holotronics parties would provide him the success necessary to move to the next logical step and build a studio where music would become his full-time focus. With this goal in mind, Diplo built the Mausoleum, a video studio, recording studio, record label office, gallery, and event space in Philadelphia. Since its inception, the Mausoleum has become the home to recordings by artists like Christina Aguilera, Shakira, M.I.A., Santa Gold, Spank Rock, Plastic Little, Black Tear, Paper Route Gangsters, and hosted concerts by Glass Candy, Scream, Boys Noise, Nico's Gun, and more. M.I.A. After hearing one of his songs in 2004, M.I.A. approached Diplo when he was DJing one night at the Fabric Club in London. Regarding their first meeting, M.I.A. said it had that same homelessness about it. It didn't have a particular genre, which is what people always say to me, your song doesn't fit anywhere. So I went on a mad mission to find other people like that, because then we could make a home. Coincidentally, Diplo was playing her songs Galang and Fire Fire as she entered the club, which he got from a worker at ID magazine. Diplo added, "She came through and she wanted to meet me 'cause she'd heard my single and the funk mix from one of her A&Rs and she just thought I was right up her alley." Besides me being a white dude from Florida and her being a Sri Lankan girl in England, everything else was the same. We were both film graduates, listened to all the same music when we were kids, we're going in the same direction right now in music. It was amazing. I always wanted to make a beat with her, but all my beats were really shitty at the time. The two eventually collaborated on a mixtape, Piracy Funds Terrorism Volume 1, where a ruler track acapellas were mashed with other artists' songs and was mentioned as a Euro Albums of the Year, a Euro unregistered trademark from the New York Times and Pitchfork Media. The two became romantically involved for 5 years and continued to work together after the release, and he toured as a DJ on her 2005 Arula tour. Diplo would continue to work with M.I.A. and, through her, meet London DJ Switch. Together they created the Grammy-nominated track A Euro Paper Planies, a Euro unregistered trademark, peaking at number 4 on the Billboard US Hot 100. Producer and M.I.A. Decent. From this, Diplo went from an unknown DJ to taking off as a producer, landing him collaborations with artists like Shakira, Robin, Kid Cudi, Bruno Mars, No Doubt and Snoop Dogg, as well as work with Maluka, Kid Sister, Dion Dude, Alex Clare, Rollo Tomassi, Amanda Blanc and Dark Meat. After taking a trip to Brazil to investigate the favela music scene, and fascinated with the energy the scene had to offer, Diplo decided to import a dance-funk group Bondu Roller from Brazil for release on his M.I.A. Decent record label. This group would serve to define funk karaoke in the United States, spawning a host of others to join the movement. Diplo also spent some time documenting the music and the favelas of Brazil. Although favela funk remained an interest, his M.I.A. Decent imprint would serve as a blank palette for Diplo to showcase the myriad different sounds Hey Euro unregistered trademark D come across while touring around the world. September 2009 even saw Diplo travel to China to play with Steve Aoki at a show organized by promoters Splitworks. Diplo quickly developed a reputation for his extensive touring. In the April 2010 issue of Rolling Stone, Diplo was touted as one of a Euro unregistered trademark 40 Reasons to be Excited About Music, a Euro unregistered trademark. This kind of jet-setting pushed his label far beyond the favela funk genre with which it initially began. Since its foundation in 2005, Diplo Euro unregistered trademark M.I.A. Decent label has released music by Sansi Gold, Lila Euro unregistered trademark John, Gucci Mane, Peter Bjorn and John, Bosco Dearie, Rusko, Baraka Som Sistema, Savage Skulls, Oliver Twizt, Jamie Fanatic, Dowster, Boy 8-Bit, and Popo. Beyond the scope of their own releases, there is M.I.A. Decent Worldwide Radio, a mixtape podcast series showcasing artists who have seen release on M.I.A. Decent, but also many more who may have caught the attention of the label. Additionally, Diplo and M.I.A. Decent have put together an annual block party, showcasing talent from the label. While the first 3 years of the festival only occurred in the label hometown of Philadelphia, 2010 saw the party spread to include Chicago, Los Angeles, New York City, Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., Fort Lauderdale, Atlanta, Brooklyn, Dallas, Detroit, New Braunfels, San Diego and Canada. Major Lazer. Diplo Euro unregistered trademark's first collaborative full-length record was with Switch, this time under the guise Major Lazer. After landing a deal with Downtown Records before even recording a note of music, Diplo and Switch set out for Jamaica to record a project that, like most of Diplo Euro unregistered trademark's projects before it, would highlight the little-known subgenres, this time of Jamaica Euro unregistered trademark's dancehall scene. The two received support by many already established Jamaican artists such as VYBZ Kartel, Elephant Man and Miss Thing, and the resulting record Guns Don't Kill People. Lazer's Do also featured vocals from Santa Gold, Amanda Blanc, Nina Sky, Ricky Blaze and more. When discussing the Major Lazer project, Diplo described the dancehall sound as being the end of the world. All the little influences are Euro house, soca, oldies, R&B, jazz Euro it all ends up in Jamaica. The track Pond of Floor from Guns Don't Kill People. Lazer's Do was sampled for Beyoncé copyright single Run the World. Major Lazer's first album was followed up with an EP, Lazer's Never Die, which was released in 2010. A second album, Free the Universe, was scheduled to be released in November 2012 but was delayed to February 2013, and then to April 15. It features artists such as Ezra Koenig, Bruno Mars, Ward 21, Wyclef, The Party Squad, Shaggy, Tigger, Flux Pavilion, Dev, and Winter Gordon. Additional projects, beyond Major Lazer and M.I.A. Decent, Diplo has continued to show support for all the little influences, the lesser-known music scenes around the globe. Most recently his focus shifted to the Euro bouncy Euro unregistered trademark scene in New Orleans, Louisiana for a television piece commissioned by Current TV. Diplo was nominated for Non-Classical Producer of the Year at the 55th Grammy Awards. Diplo has collaborated with dubstep artist Skrillex to form the duo Jack U. As of 2012 Diplo has a late-night show on BBC Radio 1/1 Extra on Sundays 0100 called Diplo and Friends where he curates mixes from some of biggest names in dance music. Diplo also has several syndicated Diplo and Friends shows in the United States and Boston, Bakersfield, Cleveland, Columbus, Las Vegas, Spokane, Albuquerque, Lafayette, Denver, and most notably on Los Angeles 98.7 every Sunday at 9 p.m. In 2013, Diplo was announced as one of the headline acts for the Ultra Music Festival 2014, alongside the likes of M.I.A., Dead May 5, David Guetta, Cascade, Tiesto and Armin van Buuren. Personal life: he previously dated British Sri Lankan singer and rapper M.I.A. for 5 years, from 2003 to 2008. He also has a son named Lockett, born in 2010. In July and August 2013, he was in a publicized Twitter feud with rapper Flo Rida. Diplo claimed that Flo Rida's video for the track Can't Believe It, featuring Pitbull copied his video for the track Butter's theme featuring Gent and Jones. Flo Rida responded, claiming that he had never seen the video. Discography: solo albums, Sound and Fury, Florida, Decent Work for Decent Pay, Rudimentary, Random White Dude Be Everywhere, EPs and singles, Newsflash, Epistemology Suite, Thingamajigger, Back End, Diplo Rhythm, Blow Your Head, Get Off, Hey, You Don't Like Me, Kman, KK, Go, Pick Your Poison, El Tigeriso, Make You Pop, Express Yourself, Rascat Riddim, About That Life, Coup d'etat, Express Yourself Remix EP, Keep It Gully, POV. 2.0 inches, Up, Earthquake, Revolution EP, Revolution, Elastic Heart, Revolution, Freak, Dirty Vibe, singles released for free, Boy Oh Boy, Booty Drop, Crown, Mixes, AEIOU. Making Music Your Own, Piracy Funds Terrorism, Favla on Blast, Favla Strikes Back, Fabric Live 24, M.I.A. Decent Radio, Volume 1, I Like Turtles, Top Ranking, A Diplo Dub, Benzi and Diplo Present, Paper Route Gangsters, Fear and Loathing in Hunts Vegas, 2009 Rewind, Diplo Presents, Free Gucci, Major Lazer and Laru Present, Laser Proof, Blow Your Head a Euro Diplo Presents, Dubstep, Benzi and Diplo Present, Mansions. On the Moon, Paradise Falls, Rudimentary, Diplo Selects Scrient Sleeves, Trap Gold, Sway in the Morning Mix, Diplo a Euro Got Stoned and Mixed Really Old Records for Half an Hour, Diplo and Friends TWONK Takeover, Soundtracks, ATV Off-Road Fury for a Euro Tambo, and Newsflash, SSX on Tour a Euro Big Lost, Indian Thick Jones, NBA 08 a Euro Way More, NBA 09, The Inside a Euro Do It Like That, Midnight Club Los Angeles a Euro Wassup, Kick-Ass 2 a Euro Earthquake, Saints Row 4 a Euro M.I.A. Decent 106.9 radio station a Euro Express Yourself. Podcasts, M.I.A. Decent, Diplo and Friends, references. External links, Diplo on Twitter, Diplo and Friends at BBC Programs, M.I.A. Decent, Diplo's bio on M.I.A. Decent, Philadelphia Weekly article.